What's up guys, Matt with BleepinJeep, everything off-road, none of the boring stuff. Let's do something fun today. Let's compare one of these Lenox diamond tip metal cutoff blades to your standard, typical, yet my all-time favorite, one of these Camel Quickie Cuts. Is one better than the other? Are there pros? Are there cons? We're gonna find out. Let's get started. Hey guys, real quick, I got a special announcement for you. This is brought to you by WD40. Have you ever wanted to make a video like this one? Well, now you can, and you can win big. That's because WD40 is putting on a contest called the Live Life Hands-On Contest. For over 65 years, they've been supporting the doers, builders, and makers like you and me. And now, they're wanting to give back by giving you the chance to be featured in a WD-40 upcoming holiday video campaign. There's going to be one first place winner to receive $5,000, 5 second place winners to receive $2,000, and 10 third place winners, and all the winners will receive WD-40 brand hoodies. All you have to do is create a 10 to 60 second video sharing how you live life hands-on by using one or more WD-40 brand products to get the job done right. Head over to WD40.com/contest to learn more and enter. I really do hope you win, although I wish I could enter as well, but I cannot. So I guess it'll be okay if you win. Now that my table's clean, let's just jump right into it. These are a close-up look of the blades I'll be using. This one is a Lenox Metal Max, 1,000 plus cuts, 30 times longer wheel life. And to be honest, it is not new. I didn't want to use a new blade because I figured that might skew the results. I've used this blade quite a lot. I actually built the entire Comanche heap with this blade. So there's that. And this is my longtime personal favorite, is the CGW Camel. And it is a Quickie Cut, 7/8 arbor, 4.5 inch, and 1.6 millimeters thick. So it's pretty thin. Actually, this one doesn't have the arbor, it has the 5/8 hub. But I really like this blade because it's so thin and it doesn't break like some of those thin, cheap ones that you often buy. For all the tests, I'll be using this Dewalt 4.5 inch angle grinder. I'll change out the blades in between. And here are some of the criteria that I've come up with. We're gonna cut 18 gauge, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, 120 wall DOM, and aluminum. And then we're going to compare the times between the two blades, and we're going to look at a few other criteria here as well. I also have a timer, so there will be no cheating. You'll be able to see this in the background. Okay, first up, let's cut some thin 18 gauge with the Camel blade. I've turned the microphone away from you so you don't have to hear all this. I'm going to start the timer and then turn off the timer when I'm done. Ten seconds. All right, I've got the metal blade. I've reset the timer. Let's go. All right, that was pretty quick too, about 11 seconds. All right, let's move it up to 1/8 inch. This is a little thicker. Now let's try the metal blade. Here we go. Wowzers, after that I need some ear protection because that got pretty loud. What'd you say? All right, we're set up for 1/4 inch. Are you ready? All right, we'll call that 55 seconds. Oh wow, I was not expecting that. I thought that was going to be a DNF for me. Whoo! Hands are tired, I'm sweating. Alright, next we're going to cut some 120 wall DOM. This is what I use a lot whenever I'm building a buggy or tube work. For some reason my timer stopped halfway through that, but I was able to determine through the camera 45 seconds. Let's do the metal blade. So that was 1:42. Now let's do aluminum. This is 1/8 inch thick aluminum, regular blade. That was 26 seconds, now the metal blade. Alright, let's take a look at our findings and see if this means anything to us. This is the Camel blade down below. I changed the color because you can't see the green. But, so off the bat, on the 18 gauge, pretty even. 10 seconds to 11 seconds. Not a big difference at all. Once you start getting into the thicker gauges though, it really starts showing that the metal blade takes much longer to cut. So at 1/8 inch, it was only, what's that, 12, 15 seconds difference, which is minimal. But then once you get up to the 1/4 inch, 55 seconds compared to 3 minutes and 47 seconds. That's huge. I felt like it was never going to cut through that 1/4 inch, the metal blade. It just wasn't having it. 120 wall DOM, 45 seconds to 1 minute and 42 seconds. And on the aluminum, 26 seconds to 1 minute and 5 seconds. I felt like on the aluminum it was kind of gumming up and melting it instead of cutting through. Let's quickly take a look at our next criteria, noise. I've downloaded a decibel meter, hopefully you can see that right here, and I'll just cut through this 18 gauge since it's laying here. We'll start with the metal blade. Oh, it's already a peak of 51. I wonder if it's gonna max it out. Okay, well I think I need to move the decibel meter away because it can't tell the difference between just the sound of the tool and the sound of the tool cutting. Well, despite my best efforts, I couldn't get the decimal meter on my phone to hear what my ears were telling me. Basically it said 75 on the Camel, 75 decibels, and 76 on the Lenox. Although it's definitely louder on the Lenox. Maybe it's just a different pitch, maybe it's just a different kind of squeal. I don't know what it is, but it's ear piercing on the metal blade. So blades used. I would say that blade's about shot. The reason being, you might be able to get a few little things here and there, but it gets really tricky when these blades get small. The good thing about the blades getting small is if you have a tight area to get in, you can put on a small blade and get in there, whereas this one, you can't. But I'm going to say 1 blade used on the Camel and 0 blades used on the Lenox. Now the cost. So the cost of these, I just looked them up on Amazon. Right now they're going for $13. And these, you can't buy them on Amazon. They're a little harder to find, but these are my preferred blades. And they're going for $2.79. Or no, I think it was 69 cents. $2.69 a piece, and you get them in packs of 10, so $26.70. 20, is that right? I'm bad at math. Anyway, packs of 10 for around $26 or $27. The dust, check this out. I came up with a scenario to check for dust. Here's a little test I devised called the dust test. How's that for a dust test? So if you look close, you'll notice that there's a lot more dust coming off these Camels, and that's because the blade is actually going and turning into dust as well. So not only are you getting the metal shavings, but the actual blade itself. And then on the Lenox, it's just the material that you're cutting. So you'll notice these pieces seem to be larger, like almost like tiny drill bit shavings. And this is more of just a fine dust. So on the dust, I'm gonna say yes, more on the Camel. I really can't write like this. More, less. They say that these metal ones are safer because they don't splinter and break apart and wedge in your face. I would have to agree with that. Although, I don't know that I've ever had one of these Camels break apart. They are pretty strong. And they're not like the cheap ones that you get at Harbor Freight. Those things are terrible. You get what you pay for. My brain's all over the place. So you get what you pay for on these. They're not all the same. This one also is not flat. It has this little lip to it, which is nice. I don't know why it's nice. It just is. It makes things easier, and it gets in places, and it doesn't get your fingers as much, for one. So on the safety, I'm going to say on the Lenox, yes, and on the Camel, yes, kinda. Thickness, they are both 1/16 of an inch, so they're the same. Now those cheap ones that you get at Harbor Freight are going to be ginormous. They're really thick, and they're not going to cut through much because it's just like a big grinding wheel. It's terrible, terrible. And that leaves me to my last bullet point here, time savings. I originally wrote that on there because you don't have to change the blades on the metal blades, saving you time. But the metal blades take longer to cut on thicker material. So which is a time saver? Well, it depends. If you're cutting a lot of thin stuff, this might be a time saver. If you're cutting a lot of thick stuff, this might be a time saver. Which one should you buy? Well, use this chart, make your own decision. I personally don't care. I'm not invested in either one of these. They're not sponsored. I personally like having both. This one's great for when you got a lot of thin stuff to cut. Maybe you run out, so you just grab this because you can never run out of this. It's always going to be there no matter how slow it cuts. But for quick cuts, fixed stuff, just everyday stuff, I think this is still my favorite. What do you guys think? I would love to hear it in the comments below. Did I leave anything off? Is there a pro or a con that I missed? I'm sure there is because there's a lot to cover, but I tried to give you the best video I could. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure to hit that stupid bell. I don't like it, but that's what you have to do because of the stupid YouTube algorithm change, or you'll never see my videos again. I appreciate it, guys. We'll see you in the next one.